I just hit my finger in the chair. But let's keep going. Today I'm going to do another video where I read the CNN headlines of the day uh, because I figure I will be productive by making a video out of it and also reading the news. That way I'm not just reading the news and wasting my time. And that way you can get my funny, insightful comments on the news, and you can be doing something else while you uh, get the news from me. I'll try to keep this like 5 minutes now because I did one that was 20 minutes, the first one, and then 10 minutes, and I know you guys are busy. So let's go right into it. You can see in the news, well, there's a Cirque du Soleil show happening. Here, let's make me a bit smaller here. And okay, where are we? I was just quickly. I want to look at the news like fresh with you, but I was quickly looking at the web page while I was trying to set up here, and it looks like there's a lot of grisly stuff here, so I'll probably get demonetized off YouTube. But you got to deliver the news, whatever it actually is. So we got White House to release transcript of another Ukraine call. This is endless. This Ukraine call thing, whether Trump was trying to get the Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden in return for getting their foreign aid. I listen to Ben Shapiro's podcast every night, and he talks about it, and he thinks it's I don't know. I mean, it's all up to interpretation. He thinks it's just, and he says the best defense for Trump, and this is actually what Trump is doing now. It's just the idea that people like Rudy Giuliani, like who gives him information, sort of gave him a lot of information about how Ukraine is corrupt, and this was sort of all wrapped up in his head, Ukraine corruption, and he said, hey, we got to deal with this corruption kind of thing. So it wasn't necessarily about trying to get Ukraine to investigate whether Joe Biden's son shouldn't have been on the board of a company in the Ukraine. Uh, Although I don't know why exactly you couldn't investigate that. I mean, yeah, sure, it's a political opponent, but if it's a legitimate thing, I don't know. So there's going to be another call, I guess. Breaking news. That's exciting. We read all 2,677 pages of impeachment inquiry testimony. They've been released today. Here's what's clear. Doesn't sound like a lot's clear if it's not in the headline. Um, Whatever. I mean, there's tons of that stuff. Ben Shapiro seems to think the Democrats are gonna drag it out into the new year, just to keep everybody excited. And I think my takeaway from what Ben is talking about is that it probably isn't enough. Well, maybe I guess they can impeach. They can do whatever they want, and then the Republicans can say we don't agree with the impeachment. I don't know where the impeachment actually goes, but I think the Democrats just want to stretch it out because they have a weak field of candidates, and this way they can just have people debating oh, we hate Trump, he should be impeached, rather than debating each other on ideas. Okay, so woman found after being abducted, raped, and left to die. That sounds awful. Now, if she was left to die, that I guess, well, it says she was found, so maybe she wasn't dead. A man and his daughter abducted and raped a Las Vegas woman, taking her to California and holding her about a week before she was left to die. Charges against Stanley, 54, and his daughter, Shania, 22, are kidnapping to commit robbery, attempted murder. She's very lucky to be alive. Suspects, she had been dumped without water. She was found by chance. Suspects abducted the woman at gunpoint around October 30th, took her to a house. The woman is in her 40s, knew the two. Okay. Well, that's awful. I'm glad she was found. Hopefully she is okay. And then there's other disappearances. A man has been arrested in last month's disappearance of Anaya Blanchard. So is this someone who has not been found? There she is. UFC fighter's missing daughter. Ibrahim Yazid was captured coming into Florida. Where is the girl? Let's see. Where she was last seen. Evidence in her car led police to believe the 19-year-old college student, who's the stepdaughter of UFC heavyweight, was harmed during the crime. Okay, so it looks like she hasn't been found. Okay, but there she is. If anybody has seen her, tell the police, obviously. And then looks like there's another one. Atlanta student found dead, filed a police report on unwanted touching days earlier. So maybe let's see, what does that mean? Okay, we've got she was found dead. Okay, that's not good. Described unwanted kissing and touching before she went missing. The man she filed a report against has now been charged with her murder. Well, that's a bright spot, I guess, that they know who maybe did it. All right. And then he had been booked into that jail 5 times the past 2 years. Her roommate told police she saw her around midnight before going to bed. She was not in the apartment the next morning when the roommate left for class. And the front door is locked with a deadbolt. How did that happen? I don't know. All right, well, you can read more. So that means maybe she left with the guy? Is that what? Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop that. Snow. Okay. There's just ads that come. Okay, so then we've got, this looks like, well, this is sad, but at least it's entertainment news. Vanna White hosts Wheel of Fortune as Pat Sajak undergoes emergency surgery. Wow. So hopefully he's okay. What's going on with Pat Sajak? Um, and I just love that people still love the show and they watch the show. Like, it must be comforting to see the same people every day, like on TV. Like, these are your friends. These are the, you play the game. In the old days, I guess people used to watch. Sorry for the fan noise. My computer overheats when it's trying to screen record this. The old days, when they had, like before the internet, and then stay at home wives would stay at home and watch soap operas and daytime TV. And I guess they still have daytime TV, obviously, if this is on. And I guess maybe that's what people still do. Instead of necessarily just looking at the internet, they watch these game shows. Our taping on Thursday was canceled because Pat Sajak underwent successful emergency surgery to collect a blocked intestine. Oh, that's good that he's successful. It was successful. He's resting comfortably, looking forward to getting back to work. Taping resumed today as scheduled, and Vanna White has stepped in at host. Okay, so if she's hosting, then who was doing the, moving the letters? I guess, well, you can watch the video to see, maybe. Host stunned by wheel contestants intro. This must be an older story where Pat Sajak... I mean, okay, this is videos and stuff. Let's just go through the headlines. What do we got? Baby Trump balloon draws crowds and protests ahead of football game. I'll bet it's going to be like a Trump-looking thing in a diaper. And so there it is, yeah. Draws crowd and protests. Okay, so people are protesting the protest, or are they mad at Trump and they're happy about the baby? Let's see. Towering above the throng, stays internationally known as Baby Trump. Today's the internationally known Baby Trump balloon. Oh no, this towering above the throngs today is the internationally known Baby Trump balloon. It can be found in preparation for Trump's appearance. Nick Goulas helped organize a GoFundMe campaign to raise $4,000 in order to bring Baby Trump balloon to the game. A lot of protesters out in front of it. Every now and then a car will shout like Trump 2020, keep America great, but it's mostly positive. Oh, so maybe the protesters are protesting the balloon because they don't like people making fun of Trump. I guess that's the situation. Okay, well, that's too bad. Kind of funny, I guess, and it's good that America's a free place where you can... I mean, think about that, where you can actually make a baby Trump balloon and have it at a football game. A lot of other countries, you even say something bad about a leader and you get killed. So, good for us. Mom, churchgoer, chatty neighbor, and suspected serial killer. Suspected. See, if she's only suspected, that probably is not good for her reputation if she's not even actually a serial killer. The tale of Jolly Joseph. I knew a guy named Jason Jolly in university. I should look him up. Or not in university, like in grade school. For years, Jolly Joseph talked about how her house was cursed. Her mother-in-law apparently died from a mysterious illness. At least 3 of her close relatives suffered fatal heart attacks. Her 2-year-old niece choked to death on a piece of food. Oh, this is in India. This is why we haven't heard about this. Her full name is Joliyama. People call it... Okay, so... She looks very pleasant. She has confessed to killing 6 of her family members. 47-year-old mother of 2 seemed every bit the upstanding citizen. Well... And then there's a whole story here. We don't have to go through it, but this sounds like a very interesting story. Who is dying? There we got 57-year-old mom died of circumstances that weren't explained. Lots going on there. So I should visit India sometime. I mean, not for that. Hopefully I won't get serial killed, but it sounds like a very beautiful, cool place. I saw the movies Slumdog Millionaire and Lion, and it just looks magical there. Okay, so well, what do we got here? Virginia Democrats elect first female Speaker of the House. So that must be just the first Speaker of the House in Virginia, because I'm pretty sure we have female speakers for the whole country. What do we got for the U.S.? I'm in Canada. For the first time in Virginia's 400 legislative history, a woman will become Speaker of the House. Okay, well, good for her. The firsts are not lost on me. The first woman and the first Jewish person elected Speaker designee in our 400-year legislative history, and it doesn't find me. Well, I am very happy about that because I'm Jewish. Oh, it says we'll make history at the first Jewish Speaker of the House, beat out 3 other candidates for the position. Well, good for her, and maybe she wants to marry me, because then we could have Jewish children. I will look her up. What's her name? Filler Corn. I have a feeling maybe that means she's already married because she's got 2 names. Oh, wait. When I joined this body less than 10 years ago, I was the only mom serving with school-aged kids. We've come so far since then. Ah, okay, well. Well, maybe she's a single mom. And then we've got referee says he complained to Jim Jordan about misconduct by athletics doctor. So there's a lawsuit. What, Jim Jordan? That sounds familiar. What was going on here? Obviously some kind of... Oh, it contains graphic content. Oh boy, more graphic content. A college referee. Should I read this stuff out loud? I guess you can read this. But what if this is a podcast one day? College referee says former Ohio State University athletic team doctor Richard Strauss masturbated in front of him inside a locker room shower in the mid-90s. Now there's a lawsuit. Okay, well, you're not supposed to do that kind of thing. Hindus allowed to build on disputed holy site. India's Supreme Court rules. I guess is that good or bad? India's Supreme Court granted Hindus permission to build a temple at the centuries-old Ayodhya holy site, ending one of the country's most politically charged land disputes. So that's good. We don't like politically charged land disputes. So that's good. Cindy McCain, John would be disgusted. This looks like just a video. And I'm sure they're asking her, like, what do you think of Trump? What do you think? Ah, yes, here it is. Cindy McCain. Oh, the wife. It's not his daughter, it's his wife. Megan is his daughter. Tells how she thinks her husband would feel about the Republican Party's current state as it relates to President Donald Trump. Yes. Well, McCain and Trump didn't get along, as we know. Remember, Trump was like, I like soldiers that weren't captured. Death toll rises to 300, nearly 15,000 injured in Iraq. Anti-government protests. Yeah, I imagine that people aren't happy with the government in Iraq. And there's some chaos there. So, again, be glad you live in, well, if you're American, you live in a country where you can have a baby Trump balloon. 2 Disney employees busted in child pornography sting. That is all a bad situation. Oh, look at these guys. Among 17 people arrested. What is going on? King was arrested, charged with 1 count of promotion of child pornography. Alleges Kinney would search online for images of boys. He was caught during a peer-to-peer investigation. Second one. Okay, well, that is not good publicity for Disney, but good thing everybody's getting caught. Trump reacts to Sessions' new political ad. See, these kinds of things are videos that we probably don't have time to watch. Yeah, so let's just see if there's any more headlines. I'm already at like 14 minutes now. Elizabeth Warren responds to angry charge. So people have probably said she's angry, and then she's probably saying, oh, that's a sexist thing. You would tell a man he was forceful and aggressive, or it would be a good thing, but you tell women they're angry. So let's see if that is in fact what is going on. She had a message for those attacking her as angry. Yes, she is. On Friday, in a fundraising email, she says, I am angry and I own it. Addressed the innuendo stoked by Joe Biden and others who have cast her as an elitist ideologue. Over and over, we are told that women, yeah, here it is, are not allowed to be angry. It makes us unattractive to powerful men who want us to be quiet. It was the most direct response to and embrace of an attack launched by Biden in a Medium post on Tuesday in which he assailed the senator without naming names over her suggestion that his arguments against Medicare... What? Stop it! No. His arguments against Medicare for All sounded like they were coming from a candidate running in the wrong presidential primary. Of her suggestion that his arguments against Medicare for All... Okay, yeah, he's saying it'll cost too much money. In her response, Warren also made explicit what many of her supporters have suggested in recent days, that recent criticisms lodged against her by rivals like Biden and South Bend, Indiana, Peter Buttigieg, have a sexist edge to them, even though Pete Buttigieg is gay, but I guess he can still be sexist because he's still a man. Both have singled out Warren for taking out a my way or the highway. It's difficult. Okay, the word that jumped off the screen to many Democrats and a lot of women, angry. Almost immediately, a series of writers and pundits zeroed in on and denounced the phrase as sexist. Okay, where did they say angry? Um, these kind of I don't even see where it says whatever. But yeah, I find that it's tough with this kind of thing. Oh yeah, wait. And then who said this? CNN's Dana Bash. Biden denied that he characterized his rivalry for the nomination as angry because of her gender. The strong women in my life are angry. They get angry about things. That has nothing to do with it. Criticizing her in terms used to denigrate women, Biden added, was not anything that I did or was intended to do. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the fact that it started off and she said, Biden is running the wrong primary because I disagreed with her Medicare for all proposal. So I find this stuff difficult. Like, women and men, they're all running for office. And then it's always trying to figure out, okay, would you say that about a man? Would you say that about a woman? Uh, would you call a man angry? I don't know. It's tough because women want to be equal and be able to debate and do all this stuff, but then if they get attacked, then sometimes they'll say, "Oh, you're being sexist." So it's hard to why are they not fair game? It's hard to know. I mean, it's with interpretations, right? It's like I was going to compare it to the blackface, where some people don't really understand why it's that bad, and I guess, or well, at least going back 50 years and looking at pictures of that kind of thing, or 20 years with Justin Trudeau, whatever. But this is obviously current. But yeah, I guess if you decide that you can't call women angry, then you'll get angry when you call women angry. But I don't know if that should necessarily be a thing. Well, comment below. I'm not a woman, so it's hard for me to say, but of course everybody should be treated fairly and based on the merits of their character, not their gender or their race or anything. But yeah, I don't know. I find it tough when, for example, like when they attacked Trump for saying about a woman, it's like, oh, she did something like a dog or something, and they say, oh, that's very sexist. But then I guess Ben Shapiro, maybe he talked about how Trump uses that phrase all the time, and then even Kimmel this week had a little clip of him saying like a dog, oh yeah, because he was talking about the dog that rescued or that helped capture and kill the ISIS. Well, they killed him. Well, he blew himself up, and also blew up kids around him with his own kids with his security or his bomb vest. Anyways, a dog helped track down the ISIS leader, and I guess Trump was jealous because he's like, oh, they thanked the dog, they didn't thank me. And then Kimmel was saying, yeah, I don't think he likes the dogs, but he tries to make it look like he likes dogs because obviously that won't play well. People won't think he's nice if he doesn't like dogs. But then they found all these clips of him saying, like a dog, and it's his favorite expression. He says everything like a dog, like, he was sweating like a dog, he got fired like a dog, all this stuff. What was my point? Oh, right, but when he called said something about like a dog with a woman, they said, oh, he's sexist, but he says it all the time. So maybe people are also calling other people angry. Anyways, okay, so that's like almost 20 minutes. So there's your CNN news for the day. Comment below, I don't know, if you have any thoughts on the news, and let me know if you want to keep doing these, or if you want me to keep doing these. Or you can keep doing them if you want to. I don't know how that works. Okay, bye for now.